Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead was originally a play written by Tom Stoppard, based off the Shakespearean play Hamlet. The movie was made in 1990 and stars Gary Oldman, Tim Roth, and Richard Dreyfuss. The story acts as a spin-off for two insignificant characters in Hamlet, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Ross and Gil are being used by the king and queen throughout the play to gain insight into Hamlet's madness, which honestly, they never do. While trying to gain information, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern meet a character named Player, and the ideas of fate, predetermination, and death are shared between the three. At the very end, Rosencrantz, Guildenstern, and Hamlet are on their way to England, which was the king's effort to kill Hamlet. But Hamlet finds a way to escape to return to Denmark, leaving Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to perish. So, what did I think of the movie? Well, personally, it helped to bring the original play to life. Watching the actors physically interact with each other helped me to understand the dialogue in the play. For example, it is easier to follow when Ross and Gil are playing the question game in the movie compared to the play. The movie also helped me realize that the reason why I was so confused reading was because Ross and Gil were themselves confused about what was happening around them. I had a better idea of what was happening in the Hamlet timeline as it related to what Ross and Gil were doing in this play. Second, I thought the movie was funny. There were scenes added to the movie that didn't take away from the play, but actually made it more enjoyable for the audience. My favorite scene was where Guildenstern figured out Newton's cradle, and as he goes to show Ross, he hits it too hard and the pot breaks. However, there was a lot of nothing happening in the movie. It makes sense because Ross and Gil ultimately don't add much or anything at all to Hamlet. But for a movie dedicated solely for these two characters, you think you will be getting a lot of background into their story, or maybe even a reason as to why they were actually important. But you don't get that. You watch them fool around until they're needed, then they ponder about what they should do with Hamlet, then they attempt to do something and it doesn't work, and the cycle is repeated until their death. Overall, it was a decent movie. I probably would not watch it again. However, if you are a fan of Shakespeare, you will enjoy this movie. I think the director and producer achieved their purpose of recreating a movie adaptation of this play. There are not many directions you could have taken this movie without disrupting the true story of Hamlet. In the end,
And everyone who is marked for death dies.
So, because it was a decent movie and made me laugh once or twice, my final rating is 5 coins landing on heads out of 10.